until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty, make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jam. Shit, I needed help. But Twan was locked up and the judge put man on the shelf. Had me crying cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie, pump smoke. One time for the most high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Then God, I hope you accept my atonement. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I wasn't gangster. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Praise to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I wasn't gangster. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster.
I just wanna see my enemies fall. Yeah, hey, look, I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hell, I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hey. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Then start a couple business on it. Fuck any heathen, never shitted on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my rear view. Gold rolls, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes and all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God I don't catch another case. But that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas, they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hell, I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hey. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Hey. Don't get up out of bounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Look like I'm fed from the drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you rock blue. And I was Sue Woo from the Fruittown crew. Cops still shoot us every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that Brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, then protect it. Too many sisters in the city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo! Know that truth, it give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall, nigga. I just wanna ball. And I hope you ball too. And that be why I gotta keep it true, nigga. I just wanna ball. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna ball. Yeah. To all them children that grew up with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna ball. Hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a real and she left him for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leave her. Yeah. Nigga, I just wanna bow. So my niggas is locked up. I hope you do too. Man, I hope you niggas see the light of day. Yeah, I just wanna bow. Yeah, I just wanna bow.
Bombard they whole operation. Certified priest, prophesied this my occupation. This shit outrageous. They done made the truth docile. That's why we on the corner crying aloud, looking hostile. It's UPK style. Can't stop now. Far as this warfare couldn't last one round. Let the oppressed rise, and let the rich mourn till the sundown. Enough with these chickens. I'm about to make it hot, call it compound. This for my niggas, put the guns in the drugs down. Dwelling in peace till the Lord call for the bloodhounds. Try to decide my death and got beside yourself. Swore drawn for what you perform. How you gon' hide yourself? Devil got to die for his lies and adventures. Ain't got no love for them crackers. Nah, just cruel intentions. And in my father's house is spinning mansions. I got plenty bitches. Worthy of vengeance. This your death sentence. I'm talking to you. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter. That they do not rise and fill the world with lies. Ain't die for your skin, you gon' die for your crime. I'm talking to you. So warn for your life. Your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Tell them devils that the end is near. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah. Now they shook from vicious words out this handed book. About to take these rappers back to school. My flow sanded hook. They crossed the line, ain't no coming back. You became no cowards. The only thing sweet is the honey check. Righteous is the Lord. Give me rest from my sorrow. And hand down death for them devils. There's no tomorrow. Why? Cause they violence leave a man a stiff corpse. You see a flag in a badge, I see horns in a pitchfork. Go ahead. So please believe it, the white man is a demon. And I ain't gon' vote for them to free me. No. They beat us till we, the color purple, that's why this knife to they throat like ceiling. You got this nigga on his knees. They wanna have peace. We screaming, let this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. I'm laying in the bosom of revenge. I told her I'd do anything she please as I squeeze on the double D's. Fuck you mean? I'm talking to you. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah.
Sweat. Okay. You good? All right. 1 second. We're good to go. We go ahead and clap it up. Let's get it on. All right. Bear with me 1 second. We the Isupk, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General Yohana. 1 second. I feel like we're missing something. Where's Yanazar? Yanazar, he's in New York already? But in New York. All right, let's get it on. You gonna read for me?
Yeah.
All right, Most High in Christ. Again, it's the ISUPK. You understand? Under Commander General Yohana. Today is a Tuesday. It's the Brotherhood class in Durham, North Carolina. You understand? This is the class where you learn what our leaders and our ancestors and our religious groups and religions and all kinds of spirituality groups and organizations. You learn and hear what they could never teach you in the 400 years of us being here in America. You learn how to exactly deal with a brother or a sister as it pertains to the Most High. You understand? You've been in the Christian church your whole life. You think that you have love for your people, but you do not. You understand? You think that you have love for your family members, but you do not. Because entirely you don't know what love is. You understand? You being in the Christian church your whole life, you have been dumbed down to what the Lord has taught for the children of Israel to be and what to do. And because of that, you understand, the priests and prophets in the earth is coming back out to teach the truth about the Bible and to teach the truth and to guide blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians back, you understand, back into the way that we're supposed to be, teaching us how we're supposed to deal with each other. You understand? How we're supposed to love each other, how we're supposed to correct each other, how we're supposed to live with one another. You understand? And to right so many of the wrongdoings that the Christian church has done to blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You understand? And how do you know? How do you know that what I'm saying is not just a bashful thing to Christians? How do you know that what I'm saying is not just hurtful words to Christianities because I'm against Christianity because it doesn't go with my belief? How do you know that Christianity has failed blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians? Regardless of your love for your Christian pastor, regardless of your love for your grandmama and her pork swan eating behind, regardless of all the love and the romance that you've had in the Christian church, how do you know that what I'm saying about the Christian church is true? How do you know that they failed us? You understand? Tabuan. No sweat.
It's like you can't. If I may, you know that the Christian church failed us because we're still in the same condition we've been in for hundreds of years. Meanwhile, there's been a Christian church on every corner of every black ghetto in America, you know what I'm saying, since we got here.
Right. And not only have we been in the same condition, but we've gotten worse. That's right. You understand? We've gotten worse. You look at Harlem. You understand? Harlem is a prime example of a neighborhood or a city that was black. You understand? You had Harlem, who was run by black people. You understand? Who was, black people flourished. Black people built the culture. Black people ran Harlem at one point, and it was supposed to be protected by black people. What else did you have in Harlem? You had Christian church. You had churches on every block. You understand? So when you look at things like the coke epidemic, you understand, the crack epidemic that hit Harlem, you understand, and destroyed those brothers and sisters, you have no choice. You understand? You have no other reasoning but to say that the Christian church has failed. Why? Because where did those crackheads go for repentance? Where did they go? You understand? Where did every crackhead, where did every drug dealer, where did every pimp, where did every whore, where did every rapist go every Sunday in Harlem? They went to the Christian church. That's right. They went in there and they sat in them sermons and they sat and listened to the quote unquote word of God that wicked, disgusting pastor was preaching. They listened and they heard. And the problem is that they weren't being told anything. Right. You understand? And that's why the Lord said what? The Lord said this, that my people have a zeal for the Most High, but it is according to a lack of knowledge. You understand? Meaning we want to serve the Most High. We want to love our families according to how the Lord told us to be. We want to be able to live a life where we're not dying in the streets from drug addiction, from gang violence, from black on black crime, where we're not living in the conditions that we're living in. But the problem is that we don't know how to live. We don't know how. We don't know how to be a father. We don't know how to be a wife. We don't know how to be a husband or a brother or a sister or a friend. We don't know how, because our whole life we've gauged how we interact with each other from what we've seen. And brother, we've been growing up in a cesspool of hatefulness. That's right. We've been growing up in a bowl of unrighteous, wicked destruction of a thing called hell. And so that's what we're feeding off when we go and we get a wife. That's what we feed off when we go and we get friends in the world, where we get brothers in the world. We feeding off of what we see. And what do we see? We see brothers getting up with certain brothers and forming a gang. And they get into that gang, and then just because they on one block over, they go and they kill everybody on the other street. They see a man get with a woman and beat his wife to piss. That's what we see in our neighborhoods, in our communities. So what does that little boy do when he grows up? He gets a woman, he beats his wife to piss. You see your father who has left you since you was a child, since you was a baby, left your mother and the family and went and did whatever the hell he wanted to do. So what do? We follow right in those footsteps because it's what we've seen our whole life. It's what we've been bred to do. It's what we've been trained to do. You understand? You don't see that in the Moabite. You don't see that in the Chinese community. It's not a stigmatization that's put on them because they don't push it. They don't push a father being kicked out of the household because of some dragon of a woman running her mouth who has no control over anything. They don't push that. They push their women to be in order. So when you look at Chinese people, what do you see? You see their women being in order. You look at the Middle Easterns, you see the same thing. You understand? You see what that culture is pushing. The problem with our culture is that we've pushed everything, you understand, but righteousness. We've pushed destruction. We've pushed the black man out the house. Right. We've pushed our brothers to slaughter and murder each other. Right. We've pushed our fathers to leave families. That's right. You understand? We've pushed everything that is going to tear us apart, and the Christian church has done nothing to hold it together. Right. They've given us no kind of medication that was going to help stem the problems away from the black and Hispanic and Native American Indian communities. Because we are a sick people, man. You understand? We're sick people in the head. All of us. Right. Brothers and sisters, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians alike are all mentally destroyed in the head. We all have mental problems. You understand? We stem from a people who were hung on trees. We're bred from a people who was used as alligator baits. And that kind of torment don't just go away. You understand? It doesn't. So when you dealing with a people that is so hurt, you understand, that is so broken and so destroyed, you have to go back. You understand? You have to go back and you have to figure out what it was that broke us. You got to go back and find out what it was that started, you understand, that led to the father leaving the household. That led to the mother being a dragon in the household. That led to the children being disobedient in the household. That led to us killing each other on the streets. That led to us selling drugs to each other on the streets. You have to go back to where it started. And it started in slavery, man. It started in slavery in them Christian churches. Why? How do you know that that's where it started? You understand? This might be a tricky one. How can you blame the Christian church for a woman running her mouth so much that the husband leaves started in the Christian church? How do you know? How can we put them to blame?
So could you ask the question again?
A woman running her mouth, being a dragon, being in disobedience, you understand? And running, like in so many cases we've seen. And so many stories you see, and so many, you understand, of course, not all sisters, not all situations are the same. But in this particular one, where that woman runs that man out the house, it started in that Christian church. How is it that that blame can go right there? Of course, the Christians never got up and taught, woman, run your mouth, kick that man out the house. Of course, they didn't go up there and say that. But what didn't they do? Is where the answer is. What didn't they have the strength to do? Double one.
Salaki, sir, if I made it, they didn't have the strength to teach a woman to shut her damn mouth.
They did not correct her. That's why it started there. Right. Because it was allowed to grow in there. You understand? It's like a cancer. It's like, if you know anything about cancer, it has to grow. But if there is nothing for it to grow on, then it'll die. Right. You understand? But Christianity was the house. It was the egg for that unrighteousness to grow, and it grew and it grew and it grew, and now here we are in 2020 still mourning the deaths of hundreds and thousands of our brothers who die by the hands of each other. We still mourning the losses of our fathers and our mothers and our households who have been separated for years, so much and so that it's very common that your family is it's very uncommon that you just have the mother and father and you got siblings and all of you got the same mother and father. Right. Imagine that. Imagine 6 brothers and sisters and we all got the same mom and dad. That's damn near that's commendable. That's like, goddamn, you lucky as hell. I don't think I know a set of group of brothers and sisters who have the same mother and father. You do. Who?
Well, you don't know the group, but it's like if I.
Come on, go ahead. I'm sure it is.
But if I may, my rib is one of 14 kids, all from the same mother and father.
Good night.
Nothing outside of that. You know what I'm saying? And when I first met her and she first told me that, my first question was, she's like, "Oh, I got like 13 siblings." I'm like, "Oh, like how many different mothers?"
Right, because that's the common. Right. That's it. That's all you got. Yeah, but that's commendable. You understand, and that's the way that you understand that we would want it. That's the way that without the truth, that's what we would want it to be. Of course, in the world, you understand. Of course, in the truth, we understand that a man can have more than one wife, but they would all have the same father. But in the world, you would think that with Christianity flourishing, you understand how Christianity is a $1 trillion corporation, if not more. And you would think with all the power that they hold, the seat that is held with that religion, that you wouldn't have so much of the problems that we see in everyday life. You would think that it wouldn't be a surprise that a brother like this brother's rib right here can come from a family of 14, 13 different kids and have all the same mother and father. It wouldn't be a surprise. You would think that, oh, you got brothers and sisters, y'all got like all 5 of y'all got all different daddies. Like that's normal. That's like, that's no sweat. Like y'all brothers, that's it. That's how it is for us. You understand? But it's like that because that woman, you understand, she was able to go and dismember her household by being evil to that man. You understand? By not following what her mother should have been teaching her to do. And because she was going into that Christian church, nobody in there had the strength to correct her. Nobody in that church had the strength to tell that sister that you cannot go and sleep with another man. Right. You cannot break up with this man because he lost his job. You cannot bash him because you make more money than he does. You cannot curse him out in front of the children because you're mad. You cannot do that crap. You understand? If the Christian pastors would solely do that, you understand how many problems would start to be fixed in the black community if the women would just be fixed. Right. You understand? Like I hate to put it like that, but of course in here we cannot be soft on sisters. Of course in here we cannot be soft on women because the world has been soft on you, and that is the problem with our condition to this day. You understand? But if a woman learned her role in her house, if a woman learned how to be a righteous woman, a righteous sister, a righteous wife as pertaining to the Most High, then that man would, like what did they say? What is it? The black man's enemy. What is it? I think it's drugs. I think it's Ronald Reagan.
Oh, the war on drugs.
War on drugs, but I think it's not Public Enemy. It's something else. It's something about the black man's enemy, man. But it's like the problem with us is that our enemy is of our own house. You understand? Our enemy has become our woman in our own house. And so as a can you turn me down a little bit? On the speaker? Oh yeah, on the speaker. As a black man in America, when living in the time that we living in, you understand, living in the days that we living in, when we see that everything is stacked against a black man here in America, everything. You understand, the police system is stacked against us. The court system is stacked against us. The religious infrastructure is stacked against a black man. Don't get it twisted. Just because you see your Christian pastor sitting up there preaching and running his mouth and hooting and hollering, you don't best believe that there's some woman sitting right there getting ready to run his ass off the stage once that sermon is over. You understand? There's some woman that is getting ready to tell him what to do, and it better get done. You understand? But that is the problem with our community. As a matter of fact, get me Zephaniah 2:1 real quick. Baba Kashah, let me get that one first. And shalom. Anybody got any questions or comments on the lives? Just type it in the chat. Anybody got any questions in the room? Just raise their hand. All right, go ahead. Read what you got.
Come. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, and verse 1. Mm-hmm. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Of course, this is talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. It's telling us to gather back together. It's important for blacks, Hispanics to gather back together, but it's very much so important that we learn exactly how to deal with one another, because if we just came together, we would slaughter each other in a matter of minutes. You understand? Right. The America, or the black community, is mourning the death of a Chicago rapper named King Von. Right. You understand? Still mourning the death of Pop Smoke, mourning the deaths of, Nipsey Hussle is a Hamite, but he died a nigga's death. You understand? He lived a nigga life and died a nigga's death. And we're mourning these brothers, and we're not understanding that pain that you feel when you see King Von get shot on that video. That pain, that anger that you have for that, because you realize that in that moment, this is our reality. Right. You realize that in that moment, fame and money does not save you from this hell. Right. It doesn't. You can be rich. You can have the diamond chains, VVS's chains, making millions of dollars, driving G-Wagons and Bugattis and whatever the hell you worked your whole life to get. But yet, because Christianity has not implanted, you understand, what the Lord has set for blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians in the hearts of our people, it don't matter where you go, our people will kill each other. Right. You understand? We'll still kill each other. You'll try to get together and have a cookout. You'll try to have a cookout. How many of you have ever had a cookout with your family, and it's almost not real or 100% complete if there's not a fight. Right. Or if there's no bickering or no arguing or no gossiping. It doesn't feel like have you been to a cookout and there's nobody just gossiping? There's nobody like, yeah, you heard about Aunt Jackie and his husband. Yeah, I heard he got laid off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think Aunt Jackie messing with another dude on the low. It wouldn't even feel right without that at the dinner table. Right. You understand? But again, all of these problems, all of these issues, I know I'm touching on a whole bunch of different issues at one time, but all of these issues are things that when they went into the Christian church, that pastor should be telling them to shut their mouth. That's right. To stop with the goddamn gossiping. Right. To stop with the goddamn arguing. Right. To stop with the goddamn demons. To stop with the goddamn drug dealing, man. To stop with it, man. It shouldn't even be allowed for a brother to stand on a corner with the money that is in the Christian church. You would think, you understand, you would think that at least the block that the Christian church sits on or stands on would be free of drugs. But that church, the block that the church stands on is one of the most drug infested areas ever in the whole city, especially here in Durham, North Carolina.
That's
right. You got one of the biggest churches right down the street called Mount Zion. And on Fayetteville Road, it is one of the most drug gang infested areas that you have ever seen in your life.
Damn right.
With all the money that you can, you could pay niggas to not walk on that block.
Right.
You could, if you wanted to. You understand? Or you can get out there and start teaching these brothers how to follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You understand? So that they can stop doing that. But of course, their focus is not, it's not to fix the problem. You understand? Their focus is not to fix the problem. It's not to fix, you understand, the black communities and black households and marriages or nothing like that. The job of a pastor is, you understand, Slagger, brother, I'm gonna get to your question next. But the job of a pastor is to do what? To pacify you.
Right.
You understand? Why? Because the pastor is nothing more than a Tylenol pill.
That's right.
They're like Advil. How does a pastor get his money? A pastor gets his money because you are wicked in your ways. And because you are wicked in your ways, you want forgiveness. How do you get forgiveness? You go to church on Sunday and you give that money. You go to church on Sunday and you take out that wad of cash and you put it in the collection plate, table, or whatever bowl, and then you pray to that God in that church that he forgive you. You understand? If the pastor fixed you from being a whore,
right?
If he taught you to stop coming to this goddamn church, if you come back to this church again with some money in your goddamn hand, talking about you done slept with another man on your husband, you will no longer be allowed in this church. If the pastor just did that, then maybe she wouldn't be a whore. Maybe she would just stop, but then he wouldn't get the money. And that's the problem with the Christian church. The brother asks, don't it say in the Bible, gays must die on sight? 1 second. All right. To answer your question, back during the time, there's different times during the Bible. You understand? Like there was a time before Christ. Before Christ ruled, before Christ died, you understand, there was a time where the Levitical priests would, you understand, execute judgment for the sins committed against the Lord. And of course, homosexuality is a sin punishable by death. So yeah, a homosexual would be killed by the Levitical priest or you understand, or they would be judged by the Sadducees or Pharisees or what have you, but that was before Christ. After Christ, Christ gave us a chance, you understand, to, it's like, can you get me, go and sin no more, Brother Baba Shah? Christ gave us a chance to even though we sin against the Most High, even though you may know a brother who has been a homosexual or has done homosexual acts or anything like that, because of what Christ did for us, that brother does not have to die on sight. You understand? That brother has a chance to learn that what he has done is wrong and is disgusting as hell. But he has a chance to turn his life around. You understand? To learn that it's a sin to be a homosexual and that he should love women. And then he can go and be, you understand, what Christ had wanted him to be. You got that?
Con.
All right, read what you got.
Con. Salakia. I'm going to get from the beginning of the story, right?
Con.
Con. I started verse 6.
Con.
Salakia, sir, verse 4. They say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act.
So this is the Sadducees and Pharisees bringing a woman to Christ. Of course, another sin that was punishable by death is adultery, right? That means a woman who is married having sex with another man outside of her husband, outside of her marriage. And so they found her, You understand? That must have been a crazy day.
Right.
They bust in the door. They see her, giving it to another brother. You understand? And they pull him. They probably killed him on sight. You understand? He's probably gone.
Right.
Because he would have been committing adultery as well by sleeping with another man's wife. But they take her to Christ and say, you understand, that she was caught committing adultery on her husband. You understand? Keep going.
Come on. Verse 5. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. What sayest thou?
So that's what they said is what you just asked, right? They said, so Moses and the law commanded us that she should be stoned. So what sayest thou? Because remember, the Sadducees were always trying to do what? They were always trying to cut Christ. They wanted him to go against the law of the Most High, so that he couldn't have the rulership, so that nobody would follow him. Because the Sadducees and Pharisees wanted what? They wanted what your Christian pastors want. They wanted people to follow him, to follow them. They wanted people to come into their church to make them money, to make them rich. They didn't want them to follow Christ. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. Salakia. Verse 6. This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Yahushua stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not.
Meaning he damn near like just ignored the hell out of them.
Right.
The thing about Christ was the coldest cutter ever to walk the face of the earth.
That's right.
He could cut any Christian, but they understand the piss like you never seen before. You think Tazariak is bad.
Right.
You understand? Christ was that nigga when it came to this. But this is what he did. Keep going.
Come on, verse 7. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
Let him first. Christ said this to the brothers who wanted to stone this woman. He who is without sin, you understand, cast the first stone unto her. What Christ did, you understand, and a lot of Christians love to use this scripture.
Right.
Christians love to pull this scripture to try to prove that, see, Christ didn't stone her. He didn't kill her like he was supposed to do, because Christ is coming back so that, because of him we can sin, which is what Christians want to teach. Christians want to teach that because of Christ you can be an adulterer, you could be a homosexual, you can eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, you can do anything that you want, and because of Christ there is no judgment of it. But that is not what Christ was saying. You understand? Read that part one more time.
Come on, sir. Verse 7. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
So he said, he who is without sin among you, let he cast the first stone at her. Why did Christ say that? Why was he saying that to the Sadducees and Pharisees?
So he was cutting them.
He was cutting them, but why? This is the same way you cut a Christian today. You understand? Christian, when you come into the school, you be getting officers tests and you pass, and you get out here in the world and you start debating. Christians love to do what? First, I'm gonna give you a hint. Christians don't believe in the law.
Right.
They don't believe there is a law. I don't understand quite yet. Somebody still has yet to explain to me how the hell they believe there's a sin.
Right.
If there's no law, I don't get how your grandmama said that rap music was a sin. If there's no law, then I don't get it. Right. But no sweat. They do not believe that there is a law. But how would you cut? But what do Christians love to try to do when they are getting cut?
So Christians love to. Okay, it's like if you tell a Christian you cannot commit adultery, or you cannot, you cannot sleep with another man's wife, or whatever sin, the first thing they love to do is be like, well, do you do such and such?
That's exactly what they do.
Do you eat this, or do you do this? Technically you ain't supposed to do that.
That's exactly what it is. For me personally, is, but you're not supposed to have tattoos.
Right.
That's the first thing, of course, they want to do. They want to try to point out your sin as if they give a damn about the sin that you do. You understand? So what was Christ doing what was the reason for Christ saying, you understand, he who is without sin cast the first stone? Remember, these Sadducees and Pharisees were your modern day Christian pastors. They were your T.D. Jakes. Imagine T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Eddie Long, Al Sharpton, whoever the hell else is a Christian pastor, and they're circled around about a woman ready to stone her to death for being caught in adultery. What you got?
It's like, if I may, because he knew they was lying bastards and hypocrites.
Right.
He knew that they ate pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster and did such and such.
Right.
So he's like, all right, so whichever one of y'all ain't sinning, go ahead. Stone.
Right. They knew that he knew. Christ looked around and he seen Eddie Long. Right. That's the end of the story. Right. That should tell you
right.
anything.
Damn right.
He seen Eddie Long right there, and he said, you understand, he was without sin cast the first stone. Right. And he looked dead at Eddie Long. Right. And you know what Eddie Long did? He turned his face because he knew he just got done molesting some boy. Right. He knew that he had just got done doing all kinds of wicked things. You understand? So even though they would have been right to stone her, that would have been the law of Moses for them to stone her. But Christ came back not to just rain judgment down on the nation of Israel. Because if we did that, can anybody read my mind? If Christ's whole job was just to come and rain judgment down on Israel, read my mind. You might have to put it in perspective, but what you got?
If his job was just to rain down judgment on Israel, none of us would be here.
None of us would be here. None of us. There wouldn't be not one single one of any of us in this room. Right. All of us have sinned at some point. The Sadducees and Pharisees would not have been there. The Levitical priests would have not been there. All of them would have been dead. And what else? There would have been no point in Christ. Right. It would have been absolutely pointless for him. He would have been the only nigga left. Right. The Lord could have just skipped that part and just destroyed us like he was. You understand? But of course, those Sadducees and Pharisees, they wanted to kill, or they wanted to point out another person's sins without taking responsibility or without changing the lifestyle that they were living, which is what Christian pastors do. Now, taking that, you understand, going back to the brother's question, actually finish reading what he said to the sister.
Salaki. Mm-hmm. Verse 8. Verse 8. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard of it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one.
Eddie Long, he left.
Beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yahushua was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.
So they all left. They all left, the eldest down to the youngest, and it was just Christ and this woman left, right? Keep going.
Yeah. Verse 10. When Yahushua had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee?
So he's basically saying, where did they go? Right. He wasn't looking. He's like, where did they go? You should be dead right now. Right. These are the Sadducees and Pharisees, right? They supposed to follow the law of Moses. You should be dead right now. But of course, Eddie Long, T.D. Jakes, Al Sharpton, of course, they're all a bunch of rapists, pedophiles, homosexuals, and adulterers, they damn self. So they left. Keep going.
Salakia. Hath no man condemned thee? Verse 11. She said, No man, Lord. And Yahushua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
That's the part that Christians love to skip. You understand? Christ wasn't saying that what she did was right. Christ knew that what she did was wrong. And he gave her the chance to go and not to do it ever again. You understand? That's what Christians don't understand. So to answer the brother's question, should a homosexual die on sight? That brother should have the same opportunity that a brother eating pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster has to change his life and to stop doing the things that he's doing. And he should be able to go and never be a homosexual again. Now, as far as him deciding to continue being a homosexual, that be between him and the Most High. Right. And when Christ comes back, you understand, the Lord be with that brother. Right. You understand? If that answers your question, if you need more, just let me know. Is there another question? Somebody, Saucy MK says, I think you're trying to say Esau. What is Esau? Esau is the so-called white man according to the Bible. You understand? Give me Genesis. That's the thing. I think Genesis. Is it 25?
You want Esau and
Jacob?
Yeah, it's 25.
Yeah, give me Genesis 25.
What was the question, sir?
Who is Esau?
Okay. Got you. All right.
Yeah, of course. So you understand, like in the ISUPK, we teach that our oppressor, you understand, our slave master is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
What?
Christians would love to say that, of course, it doesn't say white man in the Bible. So, of course, but it also doesn't say black man, and also doesn't say Chinese man or nothing like that.
Right.
All of these nations that are here on this earth have their biblical, you understand, name or nationality. The so-called white man's biblical name would be Esau according to the Bible. We're going to break that down right now.
Come on. The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. Verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren.
Because she was barren. This is Isaac. This is Abraham's son Isaac. Isaac had Rebekah. Rebekah was barren, meaning what? She couldn't have kids, right? So he entreated the Lord to question why she was not able to get pregnant. Keep going.
And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
Meaning the Lord answered that prayer, and she got pregnant. Keep going.
Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
But she had twins, right? So they struggled together within her. The babies were fighting each other. Keep going.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
Meaning if I'm pregnant and there's two, why am I in so much pain? She was going through so much agony and pain because of these two babies fighting within her womb. Keep going.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
So, you understand, here's where we get into where Esau came about. 2 nations was in Rebekah's womb. They were twins, but they were 2 different people, 2 different nations, 2 different nationalities. Keep going.
Come. And 2 manner of people.
2 manner of people, meaning what? These people, even though they both gonna come out, they both in the same womb, their mannerism is different. Meaning what? They act completely different. When you see one and see the other, you will never think that they were brothers because they're going to do everything different from each other. They're not the same, right? Keep going.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Shall be what?
Shall be separated from thy bowels.
Shall be separated, right? Not to come together, but keep going.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Now, this is talking about who? Who is that talking about? Who is the one people that is stronger than the other people? Anybody? I want to take a shot. Anybody online? Who's the one people that's stronger than the other people? Anybody want to take a guess? You're correct, but let's in a dumb term for Christians, right? You're correct, but who would be the Hebrew Israelites today? Like before knowing we were even Hebrew Israelites or anything, what would we call ourselves? Black people, right? Us, niggas. Them niggas down the block. That's them. How do you know? How do we know that this people will be stronger than the other people? You said what's this? Genetics, right? What what's some examples? Remember, don't be too kind in here. This is be honest. You know what you got?
Salaki, sir. LeBron James.
LeBron James, right? Muhammad Ali, right? Usain Bolt. Well, who else? Every goddamn basketball player who's black. DK Metcalf, right. Marshawn Lynch,
Julian Edelman,
Cam Newton, Walter Payton. Every goddamn thing. Who else? Floyd Mayweather.
T.O.
Mike Tyson. Terrell Owens.
Randy
Moss. What else?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Right.
Venus and Serena Williams. Jesse Jackson. Who else? What else? Michael Jackson.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Luther Vandross. What else, man? No, seriously. Denzel Washington. Will Smith.
Right.
Beyonce. Whatever, man. Whatever you want to name. The point is that these people are going to be stronger. Mm-hmm. They're going to be better than you. So you look at them in the football arena and literally toe to toe, toe for toe, pound for pound, who is a stronger people? Black people. You understand? I remember I wasn't there, but Salaki. There was a time where the football teams wouldn't even look or consider at a black quarterback. They wouldn't do it. Anybody know why? Why it wouldn't even be considered to have a nigger quarterback?
Oh, Salaki, bro. I just want to say real quick, Salaki, I did not realize that Julian Edelman was a white man. He is not Israelite. I just threw his name out there. It just came out, but he's not Israelite.
Who'd your name?
I said Julian Edelman. This came to my mind. I don't watch football.
I thought you said Ezekiel Elliott when you said that.
No, that's what I meant to say.
Saquon Barkley. But who knows why they wouldn't even consider a black man to be a quarterback?
So why they wouldn't?
There was a time where like there was no such thing as a black quarterback. It was like a nigger quarterback.
It's like there's a microphone right there. Just turn it on.
Now take the batteries out, twist. I'm playing. It's like it's.
Just see a little light, little. Yeah, it's on. You good?
Knew that.
Sorry.
They knew that they were an inferior race, which is why they didn't want black people on their team. They didn't want black people to succeed, and they didn't want to be shown up.
They
couldn't compete. They couldn't compare.
They didn't want to be shown up. But what was their reasoning, right? White, they literally, you can Google this. They gave a reason as to why there shouldn't be a nigger quarterback. They gave a reason. They gave one in particular that should stick out.
I'm not sure if this is the reason they gave, but I know that the stigma that they usually gave to black quarterbacks was that black quarterbacks were, you know what I'm saying, they were athletic, but they weren't inaccurate. Like they could run all over the field, they were scrambling everywhere, but they would never stay in the pocket and just, you know what I mean?
Right. But one other thing that they said, it's oh, you got it, Salaki.
I would say they couldn't throw a ball. They didn't think they could throw a ball.
Nah, it wasn't that. He that one closest about staying in the pocket, following. They thought the black niggas. They thought niggas stupid. Right. In other words, they thought he's not going to be able to read a playbook. Right. They believe that this black quarterback, he's going to have to be the captain of this whole team. He's going to have to know where the wide receivers have to go, what the running back has to do, where the lead blocker is going to be at, how to call an audible. They said that a black man's mental capacity was not ready to be a quarterback. Right. He has to be a running back. He has to just get the ball and run, nigga, run. Right. He has to be a receiver. Just run, nigga, run, and catch. You understand? They didn't believe he had the mental capacity. What then started to change that white people couldn't do? Now this goes back to, I think one of you two said it. Something started to change that it was inarguable at this point to not have a black quarterback. This is triumphant. Like, this is great. This is good for black people. This is the show out. Imagine this. Okay, let me put in perspective. This might give it to you. Imagine someone says, okay, you know, Vabuan, that brother only got one leg. He can't run track for me. But then 10 years later, Thabuan is an Olympic track runner. What does that mean? There was at one point where we said there can't be a black quarterback. They're not mentally, they can't do it. And then Thabuan can't run track. He only got one leg. But 10 years later, we got black quarterbacks. And we got Thabuan running in the Olympics with one leg. What does that mean? I'll give you another hint. What would Thabuan's one leg be?
A handicap.
A handicap. He's handicapped. Remember, to white people back then in sports, I don't even believe that they were trying to be racist. I believe that they thought in their brain that these niggas don't have the mental capacity to be able to handle being a quarterback. Just like if Thabuan had one leg, they would believe he cannot run. He has one leg. But 10 years later, Thabuan is an Olympic gold medalist in the 100-meter race with one leg. What does that mean for him? What does it mean for black quarterbacks? Remember what we thought black quarterbacks was only good for. What were they good for? Running. They ran so damn well that they had no choice but to put Lamar Jackson back there.
Right.
They ran so damn well that they had no choice but to put Michael Vick back there. Why? Because you remember, I think, what was it, Madden 2000, and I forget what year, but it was almost where it was almost every quarterback was white. And all of them, if they tried to run and if you hit them, they would fumble. But then now they would fumble.
Right.
But now you have a new breed. You have these niggas who don't have the mental capacity, quote unquote, who are handicapped, quote unquote, who run so damn fast, who hit so damn hard, who is so much stronger than these white quarterbacks. You have to put them there. You have to pay Patrick Mahomes $500 million so he can be a nigga just to run and throw the ball and be strong and not fumble when he gets hit. You have to do it because we're stronger than them and we've always been stronger than them.
Right.
That's talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We've always been stronger than them. How else do you know that we're stronger than them? Take away sports and modern day accolades and accomplishments. What is something that you can look at yourself, right, and just know that we're stronger? On it. Think about the Bible, man. Think about your people. Think about who you are, where you came from. Think about your life.
Salaki, if I may, we're, basically able to withstand things that they cannot withstand. As in, we've been through captivity after captivity. We've been through slavery. We've been through eugenics, Planned Parenthood. We've been through every horrible thing that, would kill most people.
Right.
Kill most races and nations of people, but we still the same. We still here.
400 years of being hung on trees. 400 years of being slaughtered and lied to and beaten. And our babies used for alligator bait. Right. You understand? 400 years of everything wicked being done to us. And somehow we're still here. Somehow we're still here living in America. Growing. Multiplying. You understand? Years and years we lived under Pharaoh in Egypt, in the deserts of Egypt, being whipped. You understand? Being forced to make monuments and pyramids and being killed and slaughtered, and all babies being slaughtered and thrown to alligators. And somehow we're still here. Somehow we made it. The Egyptians didn't make it. They didn't make it. But somehow we did. You understand? Because we're stronger than them.
Right.
We are stronger than them. You wouldn't be. You can't put. Did they make? I seen something online about they supposed to be making a movie where it's like the niggas, all the slave masters, and the white people, the slaves. Did they make the movie, or did they like? Is it like not? That's too much.
I think they made it. I just haven't. I don't know about it, but I seen like stills from it.
You do. You whip a white dude, he gonna be threatening to call a lawyer
Right.
like that second. You understand? They wouldn't be able to survive in the conditions that we survived in because we're stronger than them. You understand? Keep reading.
Khan, Salakia. Khan, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So that's a prophecy that the elder shall serve the younger. The one who comes out first is going to serve the one who comes out after him. Keep going.
Salakia.
Yeah, no sweat. Oh yeah, brother, if you could. I think we're in Genesis chapter 25, verse 24.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
So when she had the babies, there were twins in her womb, right? Keep going.
Verse 25.
Uh-huh.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
So, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. You understand? When we say that the white man, you know, we love to call the white man white, but his true pigmentation is not white. You understand? If you look at the whiteboard, if you look at a white piece of paper, that is not the pigmentation of a white man. What color pigmentation does a white man really have? And how do you know? So like, what was that? Red. Mm-hmm. You got some?
Yeah, it was saying red. You know, you see that blood through their skin.
Right. They skin portrays through. I mean, their blood portrays through their skin. What's some examples of it? Right. Down south, what do they call the big trucker boys and Confederate flags? Hey, Slugger, can we his mic volume might be down.
Oh, okay, you good now?
Right? They call him a redneck. Why do they call him a redneck? Because they're red. That's I don't know if you've ever seen a white baby be born, but they are very, very red. When they get angry, they turn very, very red. And also what? All hairy all over like a hairy garment. You've ever seen? Oh, I know my basketball coach. That man right there. I ain't never seen a man with hair on his fingers, like on his knuckles, his fingers, his hand, all the way up his sleeve. Like it's like he's a goddamn werewolf. And you know, back then we used to make fun of him. Back then when we used to go to pools and go to Myrtle Beach and do whatever, he would take off his shirt and it would look like he had a fur coat on, because that's how hairy he was. You understand? What other proof do you have of that? Gillette Fusion. You understand? Gillette skin guard, and all of the razors and all that stuff that they push and push and push. Why? Because they're hairy. You understand? If you let a white man just sit in some room for a month, that man would come out looking like a caveman off the Geico commercial. That's who they are. This is who this is talking about. You understand? Keep going.
And they called his name Esau.
So the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. This was the progenitor of the so-called white race, right? This is where Esau came from. Keep going.
26.
Mm-hmm.
And after they came, and after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold of Esau's heel.
His hand took hold of Esau's heel, representing the kingdom that was coming after Esau's kingdom fell. Keep going.
And his name was called Jacob.
Now, what is significant about that part? What is so important about that? Remember, Esau came out. He was red and hairy all over like a hairy garment. This was the progenitor of this was the first white man. what is so important about Jacob being born? You might have to envision yourself being there. Imagine you were there and you seeing this woman, Rebecca's giving birth, and the first one came out and you like, damn, this little nigga red, he hairy as hell. And then Jacob comes out and you're like, oh, it's a boy. What's significant about that? Young man.
He looked normal like everyone else.
Jacob looked like everyone else. He came out. He was brown skinned, just like everybody else who was brown skinned. The description of Esau is in there because it's important, because it was different than everybody else who was around. It was extravagant. It's almost like, you understand that if you had twins in your womb and one of them came out purple, that's all you're going to talk about. That's your job. You had the baby? Yeah, I had him. Well, everything all right? Well, one of them came out purple. It's purple. This nigga's purple. You ain't gonna mention the other one because it came out normal and like everyone else. But Esau came out a different color and he was hairy, right? Keep going.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bore them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Now Esau was a cunning hunter. Now we're getting into the mannerisms of them both, right? Esau was a cunning hunter. He loved to hunt. He loved to go in the field and kill the beast, right, for meat. Who loves to hunt today? Damn right. Rednecks. Esau, the white man. You understand? Not to say that black people don't hunt as well, but if you had to put a face with a hunter, you would never pick a black man. You wouldn't do it. You understand? You would pick some white man with army camo fatigue, with some chair that, he puts up in a tree with a goddamn crossbow, and he got duck piss and deer piss. He gonna put all over himself, and he got some goddamn duck mating call that he gonna blow in, and that's gonna make the ducks come. And what else they got? They got all kinds of whatever the hell to go. What?
If I may, like it's to the point where, like when I be on my way to class, like I take 98, and there's like a little like store in between, but it's like it looks like a little like candy store, but they got like fishing tackle and all of this stuff. They got like. There's even certain beer companies that like market themselves to hunters. Right. So, and it's a beer that niggas don't drink.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like only made for red. It's like Bushes or something like that. Only rednecks drink this. And they got like the deer antlers and all of that on it. Cause like that's their culture. You see them in Walmart dressed like they about to go hunt. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see brothers like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's lucky. That's all.
And how many of you ever been to a gun show? You've been to a gun show. Who was running the guns? White people. They was running the guns. And what they have on? Army fatigue. They had on the little hats. And guess what? They knew everything about guns. They knew everything. They had the canisters. And I just went to one, and I'm just surprised at the thought process of some of the crap that you create just to kill a deer. Right. Like, you would think this is a dumb animal that just runs around. And the stuff that you have to just kill a deer, it's literally a game to them. It's fun. You understand? There's so much of a cunning hunter that they don't even hunt to survive. They don't do it. They hunt for sport, to just have fun. They love it. It's like this adrenaline rush to just go out in the woods and see a tiger and just follow it for a day and look at this tiger in its natural habitat and look at how it stalks its prey while we're stalking it. You understand? And they just go and somehow kill the tiger when I don't know a nigga in his right mind, maybe in his white mind he might do this, but in his right mind, who got a full stomach, just ate dinner, Who would just say, hey, yo, Thought One, let's see, I seen that tiger down the block. There's a tiger in the woods out there, you know. I got this sharp stick. You want to go out there and, you know, hunt the tiger down, you know? You don't want to do that. I don't know no nigga in his right mind that would do that. You understand that? Or just go hunt. Fuck, what was it? Moby Dick? Right. Moby Dick. Like, I don't understand. First of all, I hate the ocean. I think the ocean is probably one of the scariest things on this earth. Right. But to just go out there for no reason, just to hunt sea creatures for sport, for fun, that's not us. You understand? But this is things that has to get broken down so that we can understand who is Esau. Who is this talking about? How else do you know that he's a cunning hunter? You're a nigga, you should know this. You're a nigga from the hood, you should know this. They hunt deer. They hunt birds and
Yeah, they hunt you.
that's damn right. You're damn right. They hunt you. You understand? Let you have a warrant for your arrest. They are hunting you. You understand? You realize they have a whole TV show. What is it? FBI's Most Wanted, or it's entertainment for them to hunt you because they are cunning hunters, man. This is talking about Esau. Keep going.
A man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man,
And Jacob was a plain man,
dwelling in tents.
dwelling in tents. What is a nigga's favorite thing to do?
So like I said, chill.
I about to say nothing at all.
Oh,
Right, but the chill, right? But to sit down, turn on the game, kick his feet up, have some food being brought to him, and do absolutely nothing at all. Just chill. You understand? Just to cool it. You light some incense. The house is clean. Bills is paid. Children's fed. Dogs been walked. Whatever. And they just want to chill, man. And that's a nigga. White people don't do that. White people have to go to Mount Everest and climb that damn thing. White people have to go to the Grand Canyon. They have to take one string, stake it into the earth, walk it. I don't know how the hell they get it across. Maybe with a helicopter. Walk it to another part of the cliff, stake that part into the earth, and then they have to walk on this rope. They have to tight walk the rope, knowing that they could die. You understand? They have to take an airplane, take it up thousands of feet up in the sky, and then jump out of it. They have to. They have to go to a cliff, strap themselves with a belt, and jump off. They have to make little what's them things called where they got the little wings under their armpits. What's those things called? And they glide. What is it? It's not skydiving, but I think it's like squirrel diving or something. Squirrel diving. The things where it's like you see the videos where they going down the mountain and it's like, damn, nigga, you about to hit that tree. They get kind of close. You understand? They can't just light a goddamn incense and chill out for the day. They have to go put on some squirrel diving suit and jump. They have to do it. You understand? They can't have a party. They can't just have a party and drink and chill. What do they got to do? Someone's car has to get flipped over. Right. It has to get flipped over. Someone's car has to end up in the pool somehow. It has to happen. You understand? Well, a nigga would rather do what? 9 times out of 10, a nigga rather would just go to a kickback. Right. I need to find the history on kickbacks and where it came from. I'm sure some nigga was like, yo, why don't we just chill out the crib? You understand? And just, take a couple of shots and just chill. But this is how you know who Jacob is and who Esau is. You understand? Keep going.
28. Mm-hmm. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. Mm-hmm. But Rebekah loved Jacob. 29. And Jacob sawed pottage And Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
So Isaac loved Esau because he ate his Venice, right? What is that? Tabuan.
So because Esau was a cunning hunter, you know what I'm saying, he was able to get venison is deer. So he was able to, go out and get them deers and cook up that venison or whatever. So he loved them because he was providing that venison. Salaki.
Right. He was going to go get the meat. Right? Pause. There was no Jacob was too damn lazy. Right? Jacob wanted a goddamn microwave and a TV dinner. He didn't want to go get the meat. So Jacob, pause. Salaki. Tabuan, you got to get out of here, man. So Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field and was fate. What is pottage? You got it? Mm-hmm. Right, if I'm not mistaken. Lentils, beans, right? Keep reading, verse 30.
Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Verse 38, 31.
Hold on 1 second. All right, yeah, Khan, read that verse 30 one more time, Salaki.
Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint.
So he's saying, please just give me food. He's starving. He's begging for food because I guess he didn't catch any deer. He didn't get anything. So he's asking his brother to give him some food before he passes out, right? Keep going.
Therefore was his name called Edom.
His name was called Edom. What does Edom mean? This is what, we don't learn in the Christian church. What is Edom or Idumea? Right? For time's sake, it means he that is wasted away. That's what Edom means, or Idumea, he that is wasted away. So this red man Esau is a man who is wasted away. He's wasted, right? Keep going.
Verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
So Jacob said, sell your birthright to me. Who gets the birthright according to the Most High?
Firstborn.
The firstborn son, right? So Jacob said, sell me your birthright, and I'll give you the pottage, right? Keep going.
Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? This
is why the Lord chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians over our oppressor. This is why. You understand? Who can break down why the Lord chose us over them? It was in this chapter, right? A little bit further up. Remember what Esau just said. I'm at the point of, I feel like I'm dying. I'm at the point of fainting. What good is this birthright to me? Why did the Lord choose us over them? Remember what we are compared to them.
Jacob was stronger.
We're stronger than them. Esau is a weak bastard. He's weak. His whole life is wasted away. Everything he is nothing. He's vain. He's a vagabond. Nothing. Do you understand what's going on here? You understand that this story is taking place on earth. It's here. Just imagine for a second that you're living and you're watching this happen. Jacob just has some beans And Esau couldn't go out and get, he didn't get no deer for the day. And he comes back and he feels as if he's so damn hungry that he's about to die, that he would sell the most important thing that he had, which was his birthright from his father, that he would sell it. What makes him so weak for doing it? What is the logical thing for Esau, would have been the logical thing for Esau to do? Once I'll say it, you're going to say, oh, damn, you're right. That really didn't make no damn sense. Young man.
He should have kept his birthright.
He should have. He should have kept his birthright, but remember, he's hungry. Just think, you might have to paint a bigger picture instead of just Esau, Jacob, because that's all it's talking about right here. But was Esau and Jacob the only people there? Were they the only people? They couldn't have been only. There's other people on earth running around. Right? Young man in the back, what you got? You can see me one time up.
Ask someone else for food or get his own food.
They could have ate something else. Right? What the hell did Isaac eat? What the hell did Rebecca eat? It's probably berries growing on trees, right? It's probably fruit growing on trees somewhere. There's something. But Esau was so damn weak that he didn't have discipline enough to just find something else to eat, to just wait to get something to eat. He had to feel like he was at the point of dying, and he would sell his birthright because he felt like he was at the point of dying. He wouldn't have died, you understand, because he didn't eat for one day. He would have lived, but he sold his birthright for some beans, man. That's why the Lord chose us over them, right? Keep going.
Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Thus Esau despised his birthright. You understand? That's who the so-called white man is. That is the picture of who he is and who his progenitor is, who his forefather was. What you got?
So I have is this
And Salaki, I see your question online as well.
like a parable? Because at this point, Esau is, Jacob's 20. He comes out pretty much like, I guess, like a albino. But he's the progenitor of the white race. There's no more white people. He the only white person so far now, right? Who does he like have
Give
children
offspring
with
to?
that actually going to come out white? Because we know that Esau is genetically recessive. So anybody he had sex with after that would have came out, like Jacob.
With color.
Yeah, with color.
Right. Hold on 1 second. See if I can find this here. Online, I see your question. I'll get to it 1 second.
Talak, and that's just they don't need to be answered right now.
No sweat. little children are the heritage of the Lord. All right, Salakia. I can't find the scripture online, but I just text the officer above me to send the scripture. I know what scripture, I just cannot find it. But if he sends it back before this class is over, I'll get it back.
Sure.
Right. What's the other brother's question? So Stacks from 5 says, so are you saying God does not love white people? Khan, you understand, the Lord did not choose the so-called white man to be his chosen people. He chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You understand, according to the Bible, the Most High is a racist. You understand, he does not love everybody. He also did not choose Chinese, Africans, Middle Easterns, what else? Vietnamese, Koreans, any other nationality you could think of other than blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. He did not choose them, which is why we are better than all of them at everything. You understand? But if you want the scripture, I'll pull it for you. But to answer your question, Khan, yes, the Lord does not love the so-called white man. I think there was one more. Is there any question online? Also, Salaki, for the brother who asked about Esau, does that answer your question, or do you need anything any more? I'll give y'all a second to respond. Okay. All right, no sweat. Any other questions in the room? Anything on topic, off topic? Don't matter what the question is. If I can't get it now, I'll get it to you later. Nothing? Well, y'all good? What you got?
All right, so Esau is the cause of, pretty much all of our setting the stage for the stuff that we've gone through during this particular captivity in North America. Mm-hmm. Before that, before the curses were put upon us, what caused us to, I guess,
sin against the Lord?
Yeah.
Us.
Or right. So is that we caused this right here too, right?
God. Oh, everything that we've done is because, like, not to get it mistaken, the so-called white man is doing what he did. He crossed that ocean to bring us into slavery, but the Lord gave him the power to do that, right? The Lord used Esau, you understand, his military and his ships to come across the nation and to put us in slavery because of our disobedience to the Most High, right? Or what are you asking specifically? Like, is it because of them of that we're in slavery, or is it because of us?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I know that's because of slavery. Mm-hmm. They did what they did with giving the okay to do it, even though it was dead wrong. But still,
get me. See, the problem with Esau, because a lot of Christians who think they have a little bit of knowledge of the Bible, they'll know that the Lord sent Esau, right, to put us in slavery, that the Lord used him to put us in slavery. And so they will teach what? They will try to say, well, how can you hate him, right? How can you hate the so-called white man if the Lord is the one who did it, used him to destroy us, but it was us who disobeyed the Most High. You understand? We should hate ourselves before we hate the so-called white man. Give me 1 second. Let me get this scripture. Hopefully this one will pull up. You might have what I'm looking for. It's because the thing about what Esau has done to us is that he didn't just punish us for our sin. He didn't just put us in slavery, right? He didn't stop there. The same way that back in Jerusalem, the same way the Romans, they didn't just conquer Jerusalem and slaughter us. They didn't stop there. They went extra. They sought to cut the name of Israel off. They sought to lie to us about our identity, right? They start to change the faces of the judges. They start to dishonor Christ. They started to make the angels into white little babies. They started to change the truth into a lie. And that's why the Lord hates the so-called white man, because of those crimes. What precept did you have?
Punishment.
Mm-hmm.
I got remember the children of Edom.
Mm-hmm.
I got every man that is tempted of his own lust.
Probably not down, but I probably wanted the one Obadiah concerning Edom.
Obadiah 1.
But you can go with the first one you just had. You can go with all of them, but I do know I want Obadiah as well. So is that your question, or is the question more so?
It's more so we've been through multiple captivities.
Mm-hmm.
So this captivity, it's Esau who put us into this captivity. So
As opposed to the Egyptians in the last one.
Every other
and
captivity is like, okay, we keep going into captivity.
Mm-hmm.
We keep going into captivity. We keep and now, you're not, I don't think we're, as far as I understand, like God kind of like turned his back. You're not talking directly to us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not seeing certain things like he parting the sea, or, the stuff that we were actually able to see, like, okay, yeah, God right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we disobeyed then.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing all of that stuff, you disobeying, and you get put into another captivity.
Mm-hmm.
So in this captivity, where you're not even seeing any of that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll throw another question on there.
All right.
What's to say that we gonna make it out of this one, or obey, or do something different than what we've done in all the rest of the captivities that we've been in?
So what's to say that we're gonna make it out? Meaning, like, when Christ's gonna come and free us from America, and then what is to say that we're going to finally obey the Lord?
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
what is to say that?
Is this the final captivity?
It is. This will be the Salaki. This will be the last This will be the last kingdom before Christ's kingdom reigns. What is to say that we are going to? Well, Salaki. Okay, Salaki. Let me get in order. Christ and the covenant that the Most High made with the children of Israel is how we know that Christ is going to come back. Like, America is going to be destroyed. It will fall for all the wickedness that they've done. Who is to say that brothers and sisters are going to finally start eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster? There is nothing that says that we are. There's nothing that says that. There's only us in this room that say that we are. That's it. The scripture says that 2/3 of the nation of Israel shall be cut off, because the prophecy says that we're not going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
But here we are, and we have a choice. We have a decision to say, you're right. Our ancestors in the past, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, have seen the miracles of the Most High. They've seen Moses depart the Red Sea. They seen us get freed from Babylon. They seen us get freed from Egypt, and yet they still decided to go worship another god. Well, now here we are, and we got these records, and we're reading them.
Right.
And now we have the choice.
Right.
We can decide that we're not going to go back into those ways, or we can decide to. You understand? The Lord, when the way you got to think about the Most High is you got to understand that the Most High is a father. He's like any father who has children. And as a father, you do what with your children? You punish them when they do wrong.
Right.
You punish them. And you hope that they will not do wrong again. But if you're a father, if you're a good father, you know what? You're more than likely going to have to punish them again.
Right.
And you're more than likely going to have to punish them again and keep punishing them. And you are always going to hope that they will stop doing what it is that they're doing. And that is the Most High to us. We're his children, and he is our father. You understand? We're going to follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High this time because I'm sitting in this seat and I'm telling you that I'm not going to go back to eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster.
That's right.
Because the brothers who are sitting in this seats are telling you that they're not going back to eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster.
What?
And you yourself will say that I'm not going back to sin. I'm not going back to those ways. I'm not going to do it. You understand? There'll be many of brothers who will. There'll be many of brothers who will hear the truth, come in the truth, and then go back and do whatever the hell they wanted to do. Because that's Israel. That's who we are as a people. We're a stiff-necked people. But when Christ come back, judgment is going to rain down on this earth.
That's right.
Whether you in here or you're not.
Right.
Whether you selling dope on the street or you're not selling dope on the street. Whether you being a whore or you not being a whore. Whether you murdering your brother or you not murdering your brother. Christ is going to come back. The Lord said this, to make your election sure.
That's right.
Solidify your seat on them chariots.
What?
That's it. You understand? Get the precept you got.
I got, this is the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom.
Meaning the Lord is going to destroy. He's watching.
That's right.
You understand? He's not dealing with us because of our disobedience to him, but he did make a declaration that this sinful kingdom will be destroyed.
That's right.
You understand? He said that, and he's going to keep his promise. He's going to do it. Right? Keep going.
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
And he will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Does that mean that all niggas is going to be saved? No. Do we hope? I mean, you would hope, right? If you can go back and watch the movie of Moses and them parting the Red Sea, if you can watch on and just see them, you would hope, like, goddamn, nigga, you just seen the goddamn sea split. Right. The hell is wrong with you? Nigga, I'm following this nigga. I'm not doing nothing else.
Right.
You would hope that that's what the hell they would do. But they won't. And if you know black people today, then you know why they don't. How many scientific evidence have we had about what cocaine does to us as a people?
Right. You
would think that we as a people would stop dying, that we would stop using it. You would think that after all the studies that said using this drug is going to kill you eventually, you would think that we would stop.
Right.
You would think that we would see that and say, you know, we shouldn't be doing that. Nigga, I don't want to die. But black people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are stiff-necked.
Right.
So the same way you look at the crack epidemic, the same way you look at drug dealers, and you show drug dealers movies all the time. You see how King Von just got killed. You see how Pop Smoke dies. You see how standing on the corner, you're going to die. It's in your face. Name one drug dealer you know that made it. And if you know one, you don't know 10.
Right.
Out of the hundreds of thousands of black people who sell drugs, you don't know 10 that made it. You're going to die, or you're going to end up in prison. The same way Moses split the Red Sea. And just the same way you won't listen now, we didn't listen then. And it's right there in your face. So that's niggas. It's nothing that's going to be so magical and spiritual, like Christ come back and like niggas start twirling around and like fixie dust start going around, and niggas wake up like, you know what? I don't even want to smoke no more today. Nah, niggas are still gonna smoke. They still gonna want to have whores. They still gonna want to be homosexual. They still gonna want to rape. They still gonna want to smoke weed and sell drugs and gang bang. But there will be a different order at that time. You understand? There will be someone different other than Donald Trump. It'll be someone different other than Joe Biden. It'll be a man by the name of Christ.
That's right.
And in that day, you'll be under his rulership.
What?
So smoking weed on the corner, brother, I'm not Christ. I can't tell you what he gonna do in that day. But that'll just be what it is. And in that day, you'll have a decision. You'll have a decision. And you'll know that, okay, if I go out here and I sell drugs in this corner, I could die under the rulership of Christ.
Right.
Would you be surprised if you see niggas selling weed on the corner? No. Because every captivity we've been in, every time, even after the miracles, even after the Egyptians got destroyed, even after Babylon, even after all of the captivity we've been in, somehow niggas still find a way to end up on the corner. The question is, where will you be? That's the question.
Right.
What seat will you hold? Are you going to be a drug dealer on the corner? Are you going to be some prostitute on the street running around selling your body for $5? Or are you going to be ruling a city? Are you going to be in rulership, ruling a zone? Because we know that this place will get destroyed. This place will get destroyed. And if you love your people enough, then you should be praying that America gets destroyed. And if that's what you're praying for, well, then you got to have some sense that there will be some people here. There will be a new rulership. You can't rule while you're high.
Right.
It won't work. You can't rule without an order. It won't work. So this is where we start to solidify our seats now for when that happens. And if it doesn't happen, let's say America doesn't get destroyed. Well, then we're all dead anyway. We're all living in hell any goddamn way. So if that's what you want to choose to believe, which is what Christians choose to believe, and they go out and they live the life that they live. They don't change because it's too far-fetched to believe that Moses split the Red Sea. It's too far-fetched to believe that I'm going to be the one that dies on this corner. It's too far-fetched to believe that King Von's dead and he's rich. He got money. Pop Smoke dead, driving Bugattis. He's rich. He shouldn't he have an army around him? Isn't he from a neighborhood where like he got killers around him? And shouldn't he be alive? Shouldn't he? What about Tupac? Wasn't he a gangster? Shouldn't he be rolling up and can't nobody shoot him and nobody can get him? He should be, but he's not. It's too far-fetched to believe those things, and so we won't believe it. We'll put our faith back into what we know, and what do we know? We know that I smoke weed, I get high, I feel good right now. We know that I sell drugs, I make a little money, I survive the day to feed my family right now. We know that I had beef in the street, I get a gun, I shoot him, I solve my problem for right now. You're selfish because you're not thinking about the problems for all of your people that is coming and in the future. You're not thinking about the offspring of your children. You're not thinking about your nephews and nieces and cousins and aunts and uncles and your family members who have to live in this place. Right. And if you're not selfish, then you would stop selling drugs. That's right. If you're not selfish, you would stop disobeying the Lord. Right. You would stop because you love your people. You understand? And you would prepare for Christ to come back and destroy this place. You would be preparing for it, praying for it every night, that it happen tomorrow, so that we can get the hell up out of here and never disobey him again. What you got? Keep going.
John. Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
Give me, I think the brother just sent it. Go to your next precept. I'm going to go to this scripture real quick. See what the brother sent me about the first question the brother asked.
I got Obadiah.
Con, you can go to Obadiah 1 and 1.
Con, the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 1. The vision of Obadiah.
Oh, so like, go ahead and read that. We're going to go to the brother's other question that he had.
Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen.
This is what's going to happen. What are the ambassadors? What is an ambassador? Young man, you got your hand raised? Oh, Slocky, I thought you did.
What verse is that? Obadiah what?
Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 1.
Read it again, up.
Con. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
So who is an ambassador? Remember, this is real life. It's going to happen. A lot of Christians try to make the Bible to be so mystical and fairy tale, but this is a war strategic book. The Lord is like an author of the greatest war story that's getting ready to happen. And this is how it's going to happen. Right? For time's sake, I'm going to give it to you. The ambassadors are ambassadors.
Right.
Ambassadors for different countries. You got I always forget the names of the Muslims. The Shittoots and the Hinites. What's the names? Shiites and the
Sunni.
Sunni and Shiite Muslims? Or you talking about
the
the
Muslims.
Tutsis?
You talking about the Tutsis and the Hutsis.
Right.
The Hutus and the Tutsis.
Right.
Not
You're talking
them.
about the Muslims.
The Muslims.
Yeah.
The Sindus.
Sunnis and Shiites.
Sunni and Shiite.
I'm messing with y'all. But then what they hate each other, right? They want to kill each other. Eventually the Lord is going to move the hand for the Shiites and the Sindus, whatever, to come together to do what? To fight against America. Eventually these other nations, they're going to have ambassadors. They're going to say, well, we got a common enemy. America's getting too powerful. And we're going to go to war with with her. Keep going.
What's like it? Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Keep going.
Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
The pride of Esau's heart, the white man's heart, have deceived him. Keep going.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
They dwell in the clefts of the rock. They dwell in the mountains. They're cavemen, right? And the pride of his heart, meaning what? The Lord knew that he was going to put us in slavery, but he got prideful. What did he try to do? He tried to become the Most High. He tried to do what the Most High was supposed to do, right? Changing your baby from being a boy to a girl, changing the eye color, changing the genetic code. He trying to go to create a space force to go and fight the Most High. He wants to rule the space. He wants to rule the ocean, right? He wants to rule the air, everything, the land. Keep going.
Whose habitation is high.
His habitation is high. His metropolitan cities and areas, they want to have skyscrapers. They want to build up. Keep going.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Who shall bring me down to the ground? Who's going to destroy America? That's what America says, right? The land of the proud and the free, right? Who's going to bring me down? Keep going.
Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
As the what? What is America's bird? You look at the dollar bill. What is on there? An eagle. Though you exalt yourself as the eagle, when they landed on the moon, what did they say? The eagle has landed.
That's right.
That's who this is talking about. That eagle. Keep going.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
You set your nest among the stars, meaning what? NASA space program.
Right.
You set your nest among the stars. You going up to the heavens. For what? Creating space force and fleets. For what? Keep going.
Come on, sir. Thence will I bring thee down.
The Lord going to destroy all of that.
That's right.
All of that. You understand? That's what's going to happen. Is there any more on that that I need?
Say it the Lord. That's it.
Most High in Christ. Go to Genesis chapter 36 and verse 1. This is where the so-called Edomites came from after Esau. Yeah. This is the generations of Esau. This is what I was looking for whatever reason. It didn't pop up on my Google machine.
Okay. 36 and what, sir?
Verse 1.
The book of Genesis chapter 36 and verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau. Who is Edom?
Edom again meaning what? What does Edom mean?
Red. Oh, you said it was I thought it was red. Wasted away.
Right, correct, right? He that is wasted away, Edom or Idumea, right? All right, so keep going.
Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan.
So he took wives of Africans, right? Keep going.
Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite.
Bro, I ain't know how he just pronounced that perfectly like that. You understand? Like, what you got going on? You been out there congregating with them Africans. I'm over here trying to read it like Alabama, Barack Obama cousin, man.
Right.
God damn. All right, so like, you go.
And Bashemoth, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. And Adah bare to Esau Eliphaz.
So this is his children, Eliphaz,
And Bashemoth bare Ruel. And Aholibamah bare Jeush.
So even at one point, the white man understood something. Anybody know what it is? Nobody want to say it, huh? It's right there in front of you. No sweat. Keep going.
And Jalum and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives and his sons.
His what?
His wives and his sons.
His what?
His wives and his sons.
Esau believed he knew one thing, what?
Tell a man can have more than one wife.
He knew that.
Right.
You understand? And from that, he built a nation of people, right? Keep going.
And his daughters, and all the persons of his house, and his cattle, and all his beasts, and all his substance, which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together, and the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
In Mount Seir. Who could tell me where Mount Seir is? Now we're going to get into a little bit of history that it should come full circle for you, right? Where is Mount Seir? Anyone? Top of one? You might need to answer it.
You look it up?
Can. Or Salaki, anybody can look it up, right? Mount Seir. I'm thinking we got the TV on, Salaki. I tell you, it's in Russia, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's in the northern part of Russia.
Between the Dead Sea and the Gulf of Aqaba.
That's not Russian.
That's not?
Nah.
So who got the Zondervan? Well, no sweat. Regardless, where is it at?
It's like, it's
Europe?
going north.
Okay, no sweat. Well, that's where it doesn't matter. It's a mountain range, correct?
Right.
It's mountains, right? Keep going.
It's like the scripture.
I may be wrong about it where I thought it was located, but.
Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir.
Keep going.
These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau. Ruel, the son of Bashemoth, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Taman, Omar, Zapho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. Verse 12, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Ruel, Nahath, and Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These were the sons of Bashemoth, Esau's wife. And these were the sons of Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon, Esau's wife. And she bare to Esau Jeush, and Jalum, and Korah. Verse 15. These were the dukes of the sons of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau, Duke Taman, Duke Tamar, Duke Zapho, Duke Kenaz. Keep going, sir. Duke Korah, Duke Gatam, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Adah. And these are the sons of Ruel, Esau's son, Duke Nahath, Duke Zerah, Duke Shammah, Duke Mizah. These are the dukes that came over well in the land of Edom.
So like, you can stop there.
Yeah.
So this whole chapter is going to go into all of his generations and his offsprings, so on and so forth. So that is where they started living. They lived in mountain ranges. What is the coincidence of that? Remember who Esau is. That's the coincidence. What is the, oh, that makes sense about that. Remember, Esau's the white man. He was red, hairy all over. He's a cunning hunter. And we just found out that he started his generations in some goddamn mountains.
Well, the scripture says, the Most High said to him, whose habitation is high. The so-called white man still to this day, when he builds a city or any habitation, he builds it upward. Like he builds from the ground and goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like in Manhattan, you got, you know what I'm saying, buildings that people live in
Mm-hmm.
where they live on like the 90th floor.
Right.
That's you know what I mean? Like that's how they build their cities. They still like to live up in mountainous, high, looking out their window, seeing clouds type areas.
Right. That's true. But what else? Something more is flat out in your face. It's flat in your face. Mount Seir, mountains, white man, red, hairy as hell. What is the
Caveman?
Cavemen, right? What are white people? I know you know that. What are white people, right? If you wanted to be respectable, what would you call them? Caucasian. Where does that come from? Mountains. That's where they come from. They were born in mountains. They dwell in mountains. You ever seen Wrong Turn? And that was them. In mountains. That is where the so-called white man came from. You understand? And that is the generations of Esau and how he progenited all of his offspring, which began to then split and start to make their own tribes of different white people. You understand? Like the Italians, the Americans, the British, they will all be different tribes of white people, which is why they had civil wars against each other and all of that stuff. But that's a different topic. If you go to the next chapter, it goes into Jacob and his generations. Of course, we know who Jacob's generation is, right? Or we should know. Jacob's generations would be the 12 tribes of Israel, his 12 sons, and that would be the progenitors of us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. What's the time we got? 9:01. Give me 1 Peter 3:8 real quick. No other questions online. Did I miss a question? Did somebody ask a question that I missed? Okay, no sweat. Mm-hmm. No questions at all. Anything. It don't matter how, whatever it is, if I can't get it, I'll get it for you for next class. Everybody good? So we know what to do when we leave these doors. We know how to fix the street. We know how to make sure we ain't no more King Vons and Pop Smokes and situations like that. We know what to do. Stay out the corner. We know how to fix our people, how to be a wife, how to be the husband, what the Lord says according to that. All right, no sweat. You got that up? Okay, yeah, I understand. Read that again up.
Is that 1 Peter?
Mm-hmm. 1 Peter 3:8.
the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another.
Finally, be ye all of one mind. What is so important about this? What is so important about what the Lord is saying here?
You mean in terms of how we are now versus how we're supposed to be?
Right. Meaning what? How many people do you know who have knowledge of self? How many people do you know from your peer group, from your co-workers, your friends that you see every day, who know everything about the Bible? How many people do you know who know everything about the Quran? How many people you know everything about Halloween and the history of Thanksgiving and the history of Christmas? How many people you know who knows how to fix black people? How many people do you know who are spiritual? How many people do you know who just knows the answer, right?
Salaki, if I may, you know what I mean, just by people just talking, you would think everybody knows.
Right. But what's so important about this is that what the Lord is saying here, without us being on one accord, without us being together, you knowing anything is worthless. Right. It's worthless. It's worthless. What is the point of me knowing why I shouldn't celebrate Christmas?
Right.
If you don't know, if she doesn't know, if my children don't know, what is the point? What am I going to do? Save my own family? Just save them from celebrating Christmas? What is the point? I'm going to single-handedly destroy Donald Trump by myself. You understand? I know I'm not supposed to celebrate Christmas. Me by myself, I'm going to single-handedly destroy Donald Trump. What is the point? What's the point of knowing the mysteries of life? What's the point of knowing the mysteries of the Bible? Knowing what the average person has no idea about? What's the point of knowing how to break down scriptures to a T and having scriptures in the back of your head? What's the point of knowing how to speak 7 different languages? What's the point? If you don't have your people on the same page as you, if you're not in order with your people on one accord, then you knowing anything will be pointless. It'll be pointless. You understand? It's pointless. It's pointless for King Von to have had made the money he made, to have had the stardom that he had, to have lived the life that he lived, to did what he did without fixing the people around him. It's pointless because they'll come kill you. They'll die. You'll die with them. We cannot be selfish as blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We can't. You can't take what you know, what you have, and supply it to yourself, because you'll still die. Because the people around you are broken and destroyed, and they will come and murder you like they did King Von. Like they did so many brothers and sisters that it happens every day. It's not even a tragic story anymore. It's just regular life. We have to be on one accord. Otherwise, we'll never do anything. We'll never have it. There'll be no coming together and buying a neighborhood, coming together and creating a school for black people. You create a school for black people and your children will die in that school. Your son will be a blood and your nephew will be a Crip. And they will kill each other in that school because they're not on one accord. So what is the point? The Lord is telling us to come together, man, on one accord, under his authority, under Christ. In the ISUPK, under Commander General Yohana. And that's the only authority. And this is the only place that's going to tell you that. There is nowhere else that you can go. You can't go to a Christian church and fix black people because they haven't done it. You can't go to the Muslim mosque and fix black people. We've been there and it hasn't worked. You cannot go to anywhere else and fix us. It won't work because anywhere you go, it is not standing on what the Lord said to do. And so you'll have homosexuality. You'll have drug abuse. You'll have drug dealers. You'll have those things, and there'll be no consequence because there's nothing in there that prohibits it from being done. If so, let me know. Tell me what the rule is about being a homosexual that goes against the Christian church. Tell me what the rule is about selling drugs that goes against the Muslim mosque. Tell me the rule that says that you cannot have sex with whores when you're a Black Panther. That you can be a Pan-Africanist and not smoke weed. Tell me the rule. Where is the law? In what book? In what book is there a punishment for breaking those laws? In any other religious group? Anywhere. Where it is perfect. Where there's no hole. If there is, you're going to have bring it. You understand? This isn't, don't take my word for it. Don't come into these classes, hear us speak, and just believe us like you believe some Christian pastor. Don't do it. Don't be dumbfounded like that. That's why Christianity has reigned supreme as long as it has. Because you go in there and you listen to a Christian pastor and you don't bring the questions back. You don't fact check what he's talking about. You don't ask him questions. You just take what he say and you run with it. You take what we say and you go back to the Christian pastor. Go back to the Muslim mosque. You tell them that the ISUPK said that you don't have the solution to fix blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You don't have it, but they do. And then come back. And at the end of the day, we'll let the Lord decide who he's with and who he's not with.
That's right.
We'll battle it out. We'll debate it out and we'll battle it and we'll see who stands at the end of the day. Right. You understand? Is there any more on that? First Peter 3:8. Read it from the top.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another.
For having compassion one of another. Loving one another. Having compassion on your brother. Mercy on your brother. Forgiveness for your brother. You understand? Looking at these brothers out here in the streets, knowing that they're on drugs, knowing that they're homeless, and forgiving them for it. Looking at our fathers and how our fathers left us and forgiving them for it.
Right.
Looking at our sisters and looking how broke they are with their loud mouth, uncontrollable behind, and forgiving them for it. And then correcting them, of course. But compassion on them. You don't want to be the brother who was so weak that you had to go and find some simple ass white woman because you didn't have enough compassion for that sister who couldn't control her goddamn mouth. So you went and found a woman who was going to call rape on you. You idiot.
Right.
Have compassion on her. Yeah, she run her mouth like a goddamn dragon. But there was things that was in place that made her that way. And it wasn't her. It wasn't her. That thing that she does, it's not her. Something made her that way. The way that these brothers are on the streets, it's not them. They were broken down to be that way. So forgive them. Give them a chance. You understand? Have compassion on them. Thus saith the Lord, right? Keep going.
Con. Love is brethren. Be pitiful. Be courteous.
Be pitiful. Be courteous. You understand? Be kind. Be kind to those brothers out there on the street. Be kind to those brothers that you see in the club that so happen to step on your shoe in the club. Be kind to him. You understand? I remember we had a brother in this class who said something that damn near angered me, because the brother was not a thug, but he raised his hand and he said that he hates the fact that he has to walk up and down the streets, and when he sees people that look like him, he has to put on a persona of a killer just so that he doesn't die. And he's not a killer. You have to have mercy on those brothers, because you may see him walking down the street and you may see him and think that he's a killer. And so what will you do? You'll act like a killer. You'll disrespect him because you think he disrespected you. Have mercy on that brother. You understand? Be kind to that brother, because you never know. Right? Keep going.
Verse 9. Not rendering evil for evil.
Not rendering evil for evil. Meaning what? Meaning what? What does it mean to not render evil for evil?
So like if a brother committed sin against you, now you feel like you got to go commit a sin against him.
Well, don't do it. Don't commit the sin back against him.
Right.
You understand? Don't render evil for evil. Give that brother a chance. Right? Don't be stupid. You understand? If your uncle is stealing flat screen TVs and everything out your house, don't be an idiot. You understand? Don't keep giving him the keys to your house so he can keep stealing stuff. But be kind to him, man.
Right.
You understand? Treat him like a goddamn human being, like a brother. You understand? Try to get him some help continuously. Christ said what? How often shall I forgive my brother? 70 times over, right. Meaning forever. Continuously forgive that brother. Continuously. Why? Is there any more on that?
Just a little. Yeah,
Finish it.
Or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
Continuously forgive your brother. Why? Why should you continuously forgive your brother who is sinning, who is smoking weed, who is getting drunk out of his mind, who cannot leave the whores alone, who cannot stop gang banging, who cannot stop selling drugs? Why should you continuously forgive that brother? That brother doing all kinds of wickedness. He should be dead. Why should you forgive him? You will. But what's the spirit behind forgiving him? What's the spirit behind it? I know you know. Sis? There's no sweat. The Lord is forgiving, but the Lord is telling us to forgive. Why? Because you should be dead. Not you, sis, but you. You understand? Because we should be dead. We should all be dead. We sold drugs on that corner. We did things that we see other brothers do and they die for doing it. We should be dead. So you got to forgive that brother. Right. You understand? Forgive that sister for what she do. Because we aren't perfect. You understand? And that's the only way we are going to fix the condition of blacks, Hispanics, and American Indians. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Preaching Officer Tabawan.
Salaki, you pass me the top binder right there. Salaki, sir. The binder. Okay. The water. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation will be the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. That's going to be that's the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. That'll be on Wednesday, December 9th. It'll be held right here at the Durham School, 2534 South Roxborough Street. Of course, get in contact with your camp leader or the priest if you want to bring any items or food or anything like that. Also, don't forget to tune into Black Watch, 9 p.m. every Monday night. Commander General Yohana bringing out all that information. You know what I'm saying, what's going on in the world. Also, tune in to Unplugged from the Matrix that is held here in Durham, North Carolina, every Friday at 9 p.m. Myself and Officer of 1000 Ayaz Aab. Okay, you can also watch that online as well. I want to remind Akim and Akwathi to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, We're actually just going to salute out. So